Far be it from me to interrupt a conversation, but if you would please take your seats, we'd love to get started. Well, welcome to the annual Mother's Day Luncheon at Florida Southern College to celebrate our Roberts Academy. We are incredibly glad that you're here, and I had the great privilege of being at the Academy just yesterday with Julia Roberts for a coffee and conversation. And the thing that struck me in that conversation with parents is how much each individual parent wants their child to thrive. And if you have a child with dyslexia that you know is brilliant, the pathway to thriving isn't always clear. And so the joy, but also the struggle in figuring out how to put your child in the best situation was clear in that parents' audience yesterday. But what we are so thankful for, we are thankful for the Roberts for having the heart to build the Roberts Academy here, to start it here, which has now grown throughout the Southeast. We're also grateful. I was just in a conversation with Tracy Tedder, who I lost, for all of her work, particularly in getting it founded, and to Jill, our current head of school. But we are so grateful for the opportunity it provides for children to thrive. Because when children are thriving, parents can truly thrive. And when parents are thriving, the family is thriving. And when families are thriving, the entire community thrives. So we are grateful for all that you've done for Lakeland, for all that you've done for the children of Lakeland, and we look forward to many, many more years. It's my great privilege now to introduce Bob Fannin, class of 1958 of Florida Southern, for the invocation.
Let us pray. O God, giver of life and love, we celebrate your spirit in our hearts and minds, especially on this day. We sense your bountiful life through the recognition of the Roberts Academy that has guided so many children to a broader view of life. We give thanksgiving for the Roberts family, for having the vision to make a difference in the world for so many families. We will remember our mothers on this day, how they molded our lives and often sacrificed for our sakes. Thanksgiving goes to all the people who made this wonderful event possible. We are so grateful for Florida Southern College for their willingness to host and support this event. We are so excited to welcome our guest speaker, who through his personal childhood experience, shaped by severe dyslexia, has helped to support numerous causes throughout his career. Bless this meal and those that prepared it and served in the holy name of Jesus. Amen. Enjoy your meal.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 11th Annual Roberts Academy Mother's Day Luncheon. We hope everyone continues to enjoy their lunch as we begin our program today. I would like to begin by recognizing our sponsors for helping to make today's event possible. If you could please stand as we call your name to be recognized. Our presenting sponsor, CPS Investment Advisors. Our signature sponsor today, Southern Homes and Amy Laderer. Our meet and greet sponsors, Murray Equipment Sales, the Baldwin Group, Highlands Homes, First United Methodist Foundation, Blue Sky Pediatrics, Bill and Kathy Pugh, and Laura Hawley with Allen and Company. Our event sponsors, Heath Funeral Chapel, Lynn Hollis, Ann Trinkle, Campbell, Trone, Tamayo, and Aranda, PA, Lorna Jean Hagstrom, Tiffany Kilpatrick, Linda Buck, Janice Tedder Jones, Pilka Adams and Reed, PA, Lakeland Electric, Donna and Terry Brigman, Debbie Nipper and Michelle Wright, the Estates at Carpenters, the City of Lakeland, PHR Staffing, and Cecilia Wilhite. Also, please join me in recognizing our honored guests today. Members of the Florida Southern College Board of Trustees, Mr. Bob Adams, Dr. Keith Barrand, Nancy Katarius, Sanji Coney, Christine Ellenbeck, Kim Elmhorst, Bishop Robert Fannin, Bill Pugh, Julia Roberts, Sandy Sheets, former trustee Caroline Schichtel, and former trustee Clayton Hollis. Florida Southern College trustee emerita, Dr. Marjorie Roberts. From the Ashley Gibson Barnett Museum of Art Board of Governors, Linda Buck. President Emerita, Dr. Ann Kerr. And our elected officials and honored guests, the Honorable Sarah Roberts McCarley, Mayor of the City of Lakeland. The Honorable Joe Tedder, Polk County Tax Collector. And Hans Lehman, Assistant Chief of Police. We give many thanks to all of our luncheon sponsors and our honored guests today. All proceeds from our luncheon will support Roberts Academy student scholarships and classroom technology. We thank you again. The Roberts Academy at Florida Southern College stands as Florida's only transitional school for children with dyslexia, a place where talents are celebrated and extraordinary potential is realized. Our mission is powerful: to prepare students with dyslexia to achieve remarkable academic success through dynamic educational programs. Dyslexia, as Dr. Sally Shaywitz of the Yale Center for Dyslexia explains, affects 1 in every 5 students. Yet students with dyslexia often have above average intelligence, remarkable creativity, and intuitive problem-solving skills. History shows us that some of humanity's greatest breakthroughs have come from dyslexic minds, capable of seeing the big picture and thinking in transformative ways. We have been fortunate to learn from some of the most influential minds in dyslexia research: Dr. Guinevere Eden of Georgetown University and Drs. Brock and Fernette Eide. Renowned authors have shared their expertise with us through the years. Their groundbreaking research has been instrumental in helping us nurture the unique talents of every single student and inform the very methods that are shaping lives every day at the Academy. Since opening in 2010, the Academy has empowered countless students, helping them gain confidence and realize their full potential. Families from across the country have now come to be a part of this vibrant community of learning and growth. At this time, we'd like to share a video that highlights the incredible impact of the Roberts Academy at Florida Southern College. It is my great pleasure on behalf of Florida Southern College to extend our deepest gratitude to the Roberts family for their extraordinary support of the Roberts Academy. What you have made possible is truly transformational. Through your vision and generosity, students have been given opportunities to learn and grow with confidence, curiosity, and a renewed sense of what is possible for their futures. The Academy has created an environment where students feel supported and inspired to reach their full potential. Since 2010, we have seen the difference this experience makes in the lives of our students, guiding their academic paths, opening possibilities they once thought out of reach, and nurturing confidence in who they are and what they can achieve. This kind of impact reaches far beyond the classroom. It stays with them and continues to shape their futures in meaningful ways. On behalf of the entire college community, and especially our students, I offer our sincere thanks. Changing the world begins with recognizing the brilliance in every child. At the Roberts Academy at Florida Southern College, that brilliance shines every single day. The Roberts Academy is a one-of-a-kind experience, an extraordinary environment where talented students are engaged, inspired, and thriving. It is a place where learning is meaningful and joyful, where confidence grows, and where students experience success in the classroom and in life. The Roberts Academy community is filled with energy, encouragement, and purpose. Students are happy, motivated, and excited to learn. They reach new heights and discover their strengths. It is a place where students flourish and where they want to be. The outcomes speak for themselves. Students develop strong skills, grow in confidence, and become capable leaders ready to contribute in meaningful ways. They embody a love of learning and a strong belief in what is possible. And through that, they shape the world around them, making a positive and consequential impact in their communities and beyond. This is how the Roberts Academy is making our world a better place every single day. That is the power of the Roberts Academy at Florida Southern College.
My favorite thing about Roberts Academy is the teachers. They help us read and learn. They help us with our dyslexia. It makes me feel good about myself, which I can read and learn about, like math and reading. Like I can read a book, 5 books at once. Roberts Academy is a great school. You and your friends can read and learn together. You can go outside and have recess. It's very fun. The teachers are very nice here. They help you read and learn. I like going to Roberts Academy. I hope they have a whole high school one day.
The Roberts Academy is an amazing place because the teachers here are really nice and helpful, and OG helps me with my reading and writing. The Roberts Academy has given me the ability to believe that I can actually read and write. The teachers definitely will give you time to repeat stuff if you're confused, and definitely ask questions. Because of the Roberts Academy, I love coming to school every day.
I think students need to be more confident in themselves. And I think Roberts Academy has given me the confidence that I need. And I hope other students here have that opportunity to see it also.
I think the major change that I saw in Sailor when she started Roberts Academy was the joy of feeling included and not less than in an educational setting. And when she went to Roberts Academy, I felt like she was chosen and she was appreciated and wanted and she was valued as a person.
Like, yes, I did feel like excluded of groups, but at Roberts Academy, I felt accepted again.
Entering the Roberts Academy, Ari came home more relaxed, and I would say, okay, Ari, let's start working on your homework, get it out. I'll never forget this day. She looked up at me and said, I don't need your help. I've got this.
Being at Roberts Academy has led me to being the president of National Honor Society and being on the dean list here at Florida Southern College. It has made me confident. It has helped me learn so much. Even in Gillingham, I still tap out the words. I still chase out words.
I felt a sense of belonging at Roberts. I felt confident in what I was doing, and I didn't feel like I had to struggle anymore. By the time I got into 6th grade, I was confident enough to where I was like, okay, I got this. Let's move on from Roberts to Montessori, and then Harrison.
I think one of the most amazing things on this journey for Sailor is she's now a Florida Southern College student, and she's actually in the education department with a minor in special ed. She can bring to the table being a child that has struggled to being a teacher, learning to help students that struggle.
The Roberts Academy has given me confidence to be able to attend college, which I never thought I would be able to do. And it's also given me confidence to be a teacher in life because I struggled so much in school. I can help people who actually struggle in school a little better because I've been through what they've been through.
When we first started, Ava was defeated, I believe, in regular school. Her experience here allowed her to thrive.
It's meant so much to me that Ari had the Roberts Academy here. I'm so grateful for the Roberts Academy because I watched a quiet child who struggled to learn become this beautiful young woman that's in front of me today.
There's no consideration needed. It hands down provides. If your child is diagnosed with dyslexia, there is no better place to be.
The Roberts Academy helps you develop those skills. They give you the skills that you need to become the person you want to be.
I would like to say thank you to the Roberts family, first of all, for starting the Roberts Academy. We need more schools like this. We are so grateful that we have this school in our community.
Thank you for being here and for believing in the mission of the Roberts Academy. Your support makes it possible for students with dyslexia to discover their strengths and reach their full potential.
The Roberts Academy at Florida Southern College is changing our world. Because of you, the future for our children has never been brighter.
And today, our growth reflects our mission. The Academy boasts a state-of-the-art robotics lab, multimedia lab, and rock climbing wall, all designed to provide students with endless opportunities to explore, innovate, and succeed. None of this would be possible without the extraordinary generosity and vision of Drs. Hal and Marjorie Roberts, whose belief in the power of education inspired a mission that now touches the lives of our children and their families across our nation. Drs. Roberts, would you please stand so that we can recognize you? Mrs. Roberts, we are honored to present a few gifts as a token of our heartfelt appreciation. It has been through your commitment, your compassion, and foresight that created a place where children succeed, and your impact will be felt for generations. Mrs. Roberts, I invite you to share a few words with us today at our Mother's Day Luncheon.
Thank you, Tracy. Thanks to each of you for coming today and supporting the Roberts Academy. This is always a special event. Hal and I heard Henry Winkler 17 years ago speaking at the 50th anniversary of the Skates School in Atlanta that 3 of our grandchildren attended, and we have patterned the Roberts Academy after them. I am here on behalf of over 2,500 students who have been here at the Roberts Academy. They have been changed. And I want to say thank you to Dr. Ann Kerr and Dr. Tracy Tedder. Dr. Kerr said yes when we approached her to inquire if Florida Southern College would consider establishing a learning and literacy program to inform the parents, teachers, and students about dyslexia. And later, 10 years, start a school. Well, those of you who know Ann Kerr, she started praying. 2 years later, we started a school. We always say that God is the one responsible because he has opened opportunities for us and picked Tracy Tedder to plan and open the school. Tracy, thank you. She was head of school for 10 years, at the same time being head of the School of Education. Now she's the provost. Let's fast forward. We saw the impact that the Academy had on the community. So Hal called up University in Macon and told them about, come on over, let's visit the Academy here. Mercer's president, Bill Underwood, had no idea that 15 to 20% of the population has dyslexia. As we were leaving the building, so impressed, he remarked, but we don't have a Tracy. Well, we did get Joy Wood, who is with us today. When Bill returned to Mercer, he received a call from the chairman of the board at Mercer. I attended Skank School. Next, one of the professors there at Mercer called him. I have dyslexia and was the first African American to attend the Skank School. Bill also received a call from the dean of the medical school. I have dyslexia. Activity progressed quickly at Mercer. The academy there will be starting their third year in August with over 100 students. Before the second academy was even completed, Hal called Vanderbilt University. There was instant interest. The chancellor, Dr. Daniel Diermeyer, originally from Berlin, Germany, said, my sister has dyslexia. These past 2 years at the Roberts Academy at Vanderbilt, they have been in a temporary location. In August, they will move into their new building. After the third academy was established, we learned that Elon University, that my great niece attended in North Carolina, ranks #1 in elementary education. He called Elon and learned that the university would love to have an academy. Their new academy will open in August. Having a school associated with dyslexia and a college or university has been fantastic. And because of you, we are able to keep the costs down. Other places have cost $45,000 to $85,000 to attend. Because of Ann saying yes, and Tracy implementing the idea of children with dyslexia will always have a place to thrive at the Florida Southern College. The children can say, my power, or dyslexia is my power. What is yours? Thank you, Ann and Tracy.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts, so much for your kind words, for your inspirational and very generous and kind leadership and vision that we have all experienced through the years. Let's give her a huge round of applause. We also honor Julia Roberts today, whose experiences inspired her family to look deeper, advocate tirelessly, and create lasting opportunities for children. Julia, would you please join me on stage so that we can present you with a few tokens of appreciation? Julia, we thank you for your dedication and advocacy, which has made such a meaningful and lasting difference in the lives of many families, ensuring that children have every opportunity to thrive. The Roberts Academy is more than a school. It's a beacon of hope, empowerment, and transformation. Here, students discover their strengths and become the architects of their own success. To all of our students, our families, our faculty, and our supporters, thank you for being part of this extraordinary journey where every day is a happy day. Today is one of the happier days at Roberts Academy at Florida Southern because we are welcoming Mr. Henry Winkler. Through humorous anecdotes and inspirational life lessons about overcoming adversity to his storied career in television and entertainment, groups of all stages can learn from Henry's speeches. His passion for supporting others is the result of a lifetime struggle with undiagnosed dyslexia. Henry has worked tirelessly to bring awareness and support to children who learn differently by advocating for changes in the education system and informing parents and teachers about learning challenges. Henry Winkler will celebrate 50 years of success in Hollywood this year and continues to be in demand, not only as an actor, producer, and director, but also as a best-selling author. His autobiography, Being Henry, The Fonz, and Beyond, was on the New York Times bestseller list for 11 weeks and was a Grand Reads Award winner for Best Humor Book. A 1973 audition in Los Angeles forever changed the life of the Yale School of Drama graduate when producer Gary Marshall and Tom Miller cast Winkler in the iconic role of Arthur Fonzarelli, AKA The Fonz, in the TV series Happy Days. During his 10 years on the popular sitcom, he won 2 Golden Globe Awards, was nominated 3 times for an Emmy Award, and was also honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2018, he won his first Primetime Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy for his role on the series Barry. Would you please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Mr. Henry Winkler.
Hi. Thank you. What a pleasure. Hi. Can you hear me? Is this working? Yeah? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so my name is Henry Winkler. I am dyslexic, and I never had a Roberts Academy. And I am so sorry that I never did, because the greatest thing about being here today are the letters that I got in my room, written by the children. One of them, Evan, 6th grade, he said, "I love this school, and I think I love the playground." And what is amazing is that when you are in a regular school and everything doesn't work, everything is hard, you never get to really see what is around you. You don't get to see the playground because you are bullied because you can't spell or you cannot read. But here, Evan is able to see the world, and he is able to feel comfortable enough to love his playground. I am touched to the bottom of my heart. I have to tell you that I was going to tell you about our youngest son, because we are at a Mother's Day luncheon. This is great. He finished high school, and he said, "Dad, I'm exhausted. I don't think I'm going to go to college." I said, "But Max, you might have to go to college. You learn about yourself. You might meet somebody that you like. You might learn about what you want to do with your life." He went to college. He finally finished. And then he said, "You know what, I'm exhausted. I don't think I'm going to go and get a job. God will provide." I said, "But you want to get a job? You want to build a nest egg? God will provide." And then he said, "You know what, all right, I'll get a job. I'm only going to go in 3 days a week." I said, "But they're not going to think you're serious. God will provide." I know two things about our son. He's a slacker, and he thinks I'm God. Has nothing to do with my speech. I just love that story. So I was born and raised in New York City. Hello, oh my goodness, and on the west side in one of those buildings. And when I was younger, I wanted to be an actor. I don't know how it came into my mind. I don't know how it came into my body. All I know is that if people were born to do something, I was born to try to be an actor. And here I am on the phone with my agent. And we also found out at a very young age that I had trouble with everything. I couldn't read and I couldn't spell, and I was having so my parents, the very, very, very short German people, very, very short, they thought, we'll put his name on his tie. Of course, when I looked down, I saw the word heavy. And when I went backwards, I'm sorry. There we go. There I am talking to Santa. Because I didn't do well in school, I never quite got what I asked for. There I am at my bar mitzvah, and you can see how happy I am. I had to learn my portion of the Torah in phonetics because not only could I not read English, I could not read Hebrew. And here I am. This is one of my first acting jobs. I played Happy, one of the 7 dwarfs. I was stupid, but I was happy. And in the 11th grade at McBurney School for Boys, I wore a blue blazer, gray slacks, and a tie every day. And the headmaster said to me, "Winkler, I want to know why you're not achieving." I said, "Hey, that makes 2 of us." I could not be in the one thing I wanted to do in high school. I could not do extracurricular activities because my grades were so low, but I got to be in the musical in the 11th grade. This picture is also up there to show you that my pants have finally touched my shoes. And the head of the music department at McBurney School for Boys, he was the only person in the entire academic world I lived in who said something positive. He said, "Winkler, if you ever do get out of here, you're going to be great." They thought I was going to matriculate for 26 years. I took geometry for 4 years, same course. I took it in regular school, summer school, regular school, summer school, regular school, summer school. I finally passed it with a D- in August of 1963. If I did not pass it with a D-, I could not get into the one college out of the 28 I applied to, Emerson College in Boston. And I want to just say, since that day in 1963, when I got my D-, until this afternoon, not one human being has ever said hypotenuse to me. I finally realized we have to teach our children the way they learn, not what we think they should learn, which is probably the cornerstone of this incredible school. And I could dance. I say could because now I dance from the waist up. I get up in the morning, I leave the bed, I go and make a cup of coffee, and I have to wait and see if my knees will join me. But I could do the limbo, and that is the way that I got some self-esteem, because I would win the dance contests at McBurney School. And this is a very interesting thing. This plant came out. My father and mother wanted me to take over the family business, which was lumber. He imported and exported wood, the very short German, and he wanted to know why I wanted to be an actor. He said, "Why do you think I brought some business over here?" I said, "Besides being chased by the Nazis, Dad, was there like a bigger reason than that?" And I had a Tante Erna who came out of Germany in a coffin. And at her feet was a spider plant. And I grew up with a spider plant on our windowsill in New York City on 78th Street my whole life. And when I moved to California, I took a cutting, and that plant is now in our backyard. And it escaped from Germany in a coffin. Oh, there we are in the Dead Sea. I did not do as well as Stacy. She looked like an otter, and I nearly drowned. Oh, there's the wood. There's the wood. The only wood I was interested in. And they told me I would never get there. They said, oh, I had an affectionate phrase for me growing up. They called me dumme Hund. For those of you who don't speak German, that means dumb dog. Adorable people. They were just so supportive at all times. It was great. And I'll tell you very short. I never let my dream out of my mind. I knew what I wanted, and if you know what you want without ambivalence, there is no reason that you cannot end up at where you want to be. And I just kept moving one foot in front of the other in order to get to Hollywood. And then I got there, and I didn't have a place to live. And I remembered this woman that I went to Emerson College, Stephanie, and she said, if you come to California, you can stay with me for a short amount of time. She had a one-bedroom apartment with a fold-out couch. I took the pillows from those couches, and then there was a little hallway in her apartment, door closed, put the pillows down. It went to the bathroom. And that was my apartment for the first 3 weeks. And in the second week, my agent said, go to Paramount Studios. They have a new show. And I said, you know what? I don't think I can do a series. I have a, I went to the Yale School of Drama. She said, will you just go and meet them? I drove to Paramount. I walked in. I had long hair down on my shoulders, and every human being in that room waiting to go in to meet for this role was famous. I had seen every one of them on television. And me, hi, how are you? You look famous even sitting down. You look good. So I went in, my turn, and there were 11 people in that room, and I thought honesty is the best policy. I said, the sweat stain that is under my shirt that looks like the Hudson River is in direct correlation to the fear that is running through my body. I had 6 lines. I read with a man named Pasquale. And I did my 6 lines. I threw the script up in the air. And I sauntered out of the room on my birthday, 1973, October 30th. They called and said, would you like to play this role? I said, well, if I can show the emotional side to this guy, it will be my pleasure. They said yes. I said yes. My parents called, yeah. 1973, we don't know how long we're going to be here. We're taking you, your sister, and what's his name? They never actually called my sister's husband by his first name. We're taking you, your sister, and what's his name, on a trip to Europe. I said, I can't go. My mother said, oh, this is great. Here, tell your father. They were there for me at every moment. So I go to Paramount. It's the first day. I open the script, and it said, go to the mirror and comb your hair. I said, oh my God, look, I only have 6 lines. I want to be original. Please, I will do anything. Just rewrite it. I can't comb my hair. Every actor that ever played a part like this combed their hair. The director said, the producer wrote it. Go comb your hair. I walk to the mirror. I pull out my comb. Hey, look at that. I don't have to because it's perfect. Hey. So I learned a lesson. You listen to your tummy. You listen to your instinct. Your brain only knows a little. Your tummy knows everything. And I just improvised. And that improvisation changed my life and completely gave the tone to the character for the next 10 years. For 10 years, I went, hey. And you know, I reduced language to sound, right? Hey, look at that. She's beautiful. Hey, I'm hungry. Hey, do not mess with me. I could reduce entire paragraphs to a sound. And then I added a sound. Whoa. Which was from my favorite sport at the time, horseback riding. You do what you know. I had the greatest time. I had the most wonderful time. And during that time, I went to buy my own sport coat, and there in the store was this beautiful woman, red hair, purple parachute pants. And I held up 2 jackets. And I said, excuse me, which one? And she said, both. And I'm too practical to buy 2 jackets when I only need one. I went back the next week, it was fitted, you know, and she was there again. And I thought, of course she was, you know. And she said, excuse me, I work here. I went, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And then we started dating, and we went out, and then we got married, and I got my first son, Jed, came as a gift with the marriage. And our first date, I drove to Stacy's house, and her 4-year-old opened the door and said, hi, Fonz. I came from Germanic parents. I said, my name is Henry. Would you like it if I called you Ralph? I am now arguing with a 4-year-old about typecasting. So we dated, and then we went out, and then we got married, and we had Zoe, and then Max, and it was, and then finally I was able to wear leather. And and then a few years later, in 2008, somewhere in the 2000s, we went to Washington, and I presented my jacket to the Smithsonian, the Museum of America. Dummer Hund has his jacket in the Smithsonian. And look who is sitting directly behind me, the 2 short Germans. And they're sitting on phone books because they couldn't see. And all of a sudden, they became the co-producers of Henry Winkler. My mother would go into a store, she said, oh, I like that dress, I like that skirt. You know, I'm Fonzie's mother. My parents were lobbyists. They would come down here to Palm Beach and sit in the lobby of hotels going, wir sind Fonzie's parents. When I was growing up, my life was like a cylinder of stainless steel. There were no handholds, there were no footholds, and I kept pulling myself up to the sun and falling because I failed at everything. I finally figured out how to pull myself out into the sun, and all of a sudden my parents were the co-producers of Henry Winkler. But I didn't need them to be proud of me then. I needed them to be like the parents, like the moms in the video that we saw, who saw their children, who figured out how to help their children and not be embarrassed by their children. I must say, when I was growing up, I was not allowed to not allowed to watch television, you know, because I had to sit at my desk. I was going to get it. I, of course, never got it. But when they went out, I had a TV Swanson dinner, you know, and I pulled back the tin foil, and I let the bubbling brown Betty bubble, and I put extra butter on the mashed potatoes, and I had to really time it because I had to turn off the television in time. We had tubes at that time. No, it was not those beautiful on the wall. This was a radio and a record player and a television. And when they came home, because they were so short, they pulled a stool up to the TV, climbed up so they could feel the top. If it was warm, I was grounded another 6 weeks. I had a wonderful career. And I will say I have no pride. Sunday night, 9 o'clock on the History Channel, Hazardous History. Right now, it will make you happy. Hazardous History, 9 o'clock, Sunday night. Okay, that's good. And our dogs, Sadie is a Labradoodle, and Linus looked to me like a lovely lab. Stacy found him at a parking structure with no tags, brought him home. They both sleep on the bed. If you touch Sadie, I have to remind her it's our bed. Linus, on the other hand, has to sleep touching you. By touching you, I mean he has to sleep on you like he is a safety belt. You don't get up and pee in the middle of the night unless he says okay. And what happened was he turned, I'm not kidding, he grew into a Great Dane. Oh, I didn't know I could take a picture. We like to go fly fishing. What I realized was you don't need a knob. You don't need what an f-stop is. You just need to point and shoot, and then you can on the computer. I didn't know you could do that. This was sitting there while we were going down the river in Idaho. Unbelievable. Oh, and a fish. You know what? I had trouble getting hired in about 2000, 2001. And I said, oh, I'm having a lot of trouble. And somebody said, write books for children about your learning challenges. And I said, I can't do that because I'm learning challenged. They said, meet Lynn Oliver. So we had lunch. The fish was horrible. The meeting was great, and we came up with Hank Zipser, the world's greatest underachiever. And the woman behind me was my actual teacher in the 4th grade, Miss Adolph. I think she was related. I asked to go to the little boy's room in the 4th grade. I am still waiting for her to call on me. But she made for great humor in these books. Now, I didn't think I could write the book. You figure out how to do it. There's your way. There is not one way. I walk around, I talk, Lynn types. Lynn has an idea, she types, I wait. She reads it back to me. We argue over every word. And that book became, in November of this year, our 41st children's novel will come out. Unbelievable. There is your way. There is not one way. And oh, Detective Duck, that's coming out. Little duckling, she wants to be a detective. Her best friend, the salamander, says, you can do anything you want. She's the only duckling who has a beaver for a dad, and she's an environmentalist. And then Max, our youngest son, who said to me at 8 when we went to see a movie, he said, I'm going to do that. And he said, I'm going to be a director. And he's kept his word. One of the last things he did was the JFK Jr. love story that was just on the air. He kept his word. And he said, you should write your stories down. I said, I can't do that. He said, you'll figure it out. And then there became a memoir. I just couldn't believe it. And here I am with Lynn arguing, and she said I drive her to drink, and then she has a Snapple. That is because we believe that our books start with humor. That humor is the gateway to getting young people to read if they do not read or they're scared of reading. But what is wonderful is that all of these letters that I got in my room, so many of them, like that little lady on the video, that young woman, like they all talk about, I can read now. I can read now what you do for the young people here, there, and in the 4 schools that exist because of this amazing couple. I'm telling you, it is a miracle on this earth. 1 out of 5, and yet the teacher in most classes have to teach the fastest student and the slowest student the same amount of material in the same amount of time. Somebody is going to lose out, but not here. Unbelievable. So I say to you, if you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do, and I want to tell you, every one of you is powerful. Every one of you, some of you know it, some of you are scared of your own power, some of you haven't tasted it yet, but you don't want to spend your life and then go, oh my God, I should have. You are powerful, and what you imagine, what you think you don't have time for, you can accomplish. I did it, you can do it, and I'm short. I will leave you with 3 ideas. You have to be the most you can be, because otherwise your life will just be half-baked. We have to be the most we can be, because great needs will be unmet, and hurts will be unhealed. And we have to be the most we can be so we can take and be the voice and take action for children at the beginning of their life when they don't have voice and they can't take a step yet. I thank you for listening. My parents never did. Thank you.
Mr. Winkler, we thank you for that inspiring message. And as we wrap up this afternoon, we have a wonderful and very special performance from our Roberts Academy boys and girls.
Monday, happy day. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy day. Thursday, Friday, happy day. The weekend comes, but I go home. Ready to race to you. These days are all happy days. These days are all. Share them with me. Blue black, gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Moving all week with you. These days are all. Share them with me. These days are all. Happy and free. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
Then one more round of applause. They did a great job today. We want to thank everyone for joining us for our 11th annual Roberts Academy Mother's Day Luncheon. We thank you for all of your support through all of these years. And again, thank you for being with us this afternoon.